Hello, my name is Benjamin Troglia, and this video submission is for Education 538 at Grand Canyon University, Servant Leadership and Student Affairs. This respective video will overview the leadership and relationship building qualities within a higher education context. What leadership model does most closely align with my values? And I would say that is servant leadership. The whole reason why I'm in higher education is to serve others, provide and connect bridges from marginalized communities to more equitable opportunities within higher education. I myself am a community college student, and I receive that guidance and servant leadership, and I do want to pay that forward, and it's a big motivating factor for me in pursuing a career in higher education. So, what are some relationship building skills that would foster positive relationships within a student affairs context? So, I believe ensuring that needs are met, an aspect of provision, making sure that students and staff feel secure, an aspect of protection, and making sure that they feel welcomed and encouraged and receive that empowerment. And hopefully having them reach that self-actualization so they become leaders in their communities and they can keep the cycle going. And that's, again, a motivating factor for me. What how do I approach relationship building, and how does that compare to relationship building of servant leaders? So, like I mentioned, I aspire to be a great servant leader, so I feel there's a positive correlation already with my relationship building factors. I would say I'm not motivated by external factors. I do actively prioritize students, so although meetings and agendas and research is critical, I do prioritize students and their needs first. And then I like to stay actively engaged with them, ensuring that they're aware of all the resources that are available to them is also critical. So being actively engaged, making sure that they feel heard and protected, and making sure that they're prioritized. So what are three strengths that I have when it comes to relationship building? I kind of already touched on one. So I do feel that I provide a safe space for students. I could be a little bit better, and I'll overview that in a later segment. But I do feel as I provide a safe space for them to communicate those concerns. And that is really critical, especially when working with marginalized populations, because they may not always have that positive reinforcement in their life. Also relating to them. So, like I mentioned, I work with marginalized populations, and I specifically work at a Hispanic serving institution. I myself am Hispanic, so I can build that cultural relationship with them and help them feel a little bit more comfortable. Again, addressing those inequitable gaps within higher education in a professional context. And again, just being there for them, making sure that they know I'm present is another strength of mine. Making sure that they know I'm actively engaged, I'm actively worried about specific situations or trying to address specific situations to overcome obstacles and help them achieve their goals. So being along with them throughout their journey, even though they're already past the portion of my or the student pipeline, I'm making sure that I know that I'm going to be with them throughout their journey. So that's also really critical going forward. Some three weaknesses that I have. So I like to avoid conflict at times, and making sure that I stay actively engaged with conflict resolution and strategies of such is important, especially when I'm arguing on behalf of the students that I serve. Being patient with other staff is something that I do need to work on. Not everyone is a servant leader, and although in the perfect world I think that would be great, there are transactional leaders, there are autocratic leaders, there are different types of leaders, and making sure that I'm patient with them is something that I need to work on, and that's more in a holistic view of servant leadership. And then also, I do provide a safe space, but I feel like I need to be more emotionally vulnerable with some of the students that I work with. It's critical to be emotionally vulnerable in a professional level, and I know not everyone's a counselor, but making sure that you can connect with students on an emotional level is important, especially in servant leadership. So followership is important to maintain. And why is that important? So it essentially maintains mission and vision, and it gives the students and staff purpose to keep the cycle of servant leadership going. So followership is critical to the success of student servant leaders. And then how would I develop followership based on building professional relationships? So again, expressing empathy, being engaged, uplifting, providing a safe space, and then just reminding why we serve them and why they can serve their community. So those are critical aspects for an institution and an individual. Thank you.